Sleigh bells will ring. Are you listening in the late? Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am super excited to actually conclude this amazing series that we've been talking about how you go about maximizing your money when it comes to your salary, your wages, or any products or services that you're rendering. So if you're ready, like how I am, let's talk more about how do we make sure that the best revenge is your paper. Let's get into it. I'm DC Howard. If you want to know more about me as well as this company, click on the link above to be able to get more information. Also, as I mentioned in the intro, this is actually our conclusion or episode 4 of this series. And so if you want to be able to check out what we've talked about over the past 3 episodes, you can do so really quickly. Here's episode 1 right here. There we go. All right, here is episode 2, which is right, 2, right up there. And then on last week, we were able to talk even more in episode 3, which is right here. Perfect. And so as you are being able to watch this right now, I just want to be able to first and foremost say happy holidays to each and every single one of you. I hope that even in the midst of a very unique and trying time, that you're able to find great peace and great comfort and great joy with loved ones, whether that's friends, family, and even possibly a significant other during this holiday season. Merry Christmas to those that are celebrating Christmas. Happy Hanukkah to those that celebrate Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa to those that are celebrating Kwanzaa. And happy to the wonderful winter season for all of those just being able to celebrate getting to and prayerfully through another 2020 and when it comes down to this amazing year. And so, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to conclude talking about how do you go about making sure that the best revenge is your paper. We've talked about all this time about when it comes to how to ensure that you know yourself and that you know your worth, how to ensure that you have money, the power, and the respect, how to make sure that you're sitting on top of the world. And so now we're going to talk about this final piece, which this is another classic song, if you will, is the song lyrics go, you can't always get what you want, but you get what you need. And so we're going to talk about how to navigate if potentially negotiations may fail when it comes to your salary, when it comes to your wages, or when it comes to whatever fees that you're desiring to receive from whatever products or services that you're rendering. And so I'm going to bring up 2 particular points, not just one, but 2 particular points on today's video. And so the first thing that you're going to want to be able to do if negotiations are failing in those contexts is that you have a plan in play. Once again, point number 1 on how do you handle when it comes to if negotiations for your salary, your wages, or your fees are failing is that you have a plan in play. So here's what that means. Is the fact of the matter that when you are going about negotiating, that you have a plan in play that you're saying, if all else fails, I want to make sure that I'm able to get this from this company. I'm able to get this from this partnership. I'm able to get this from these fees because I value this company. I value this partnership. I value this client enough to where I am willing to work with them. And so what that means is that there is, if you will, I won't call it a consolation, but rather there is an agreement point that you've already set in your head that I won't go anywhere past this particular agreement point, and I'm able to work with this company, work with this partnership, work with this particular entity, but I do know that in the future, I want to be able to get to this particular place when it comes to my salary, to this particular place when it comes to my wages, to this particular place when it comes to this partnership and or this contract or this agreement that we have. So perfect example. Let's say that you're negotiating for your salary. You're hoping that your salary ends up being $75,000. And unfortunately, due to the way the negotiations are, it ends up being that they're not willing to go anything past, let's say, $55,000. Well, then you're able to say in your particular conversation that I will accept the $55,000 if there is the contingency and the potential that I'm able to grow to that $75,000 within whether it be projects and or bonuses that are available and or if the job band that I'm in will allow me to be able to, if you will, be promoted and increase to that. Another example when it comes down to wages is that let's say that you wanted to make $10 an hour. The particular employer says that we can only do $8.25. Well, is there the ability in this particular, if you will, company that there are either holiday bonuses, there are overtime wages that I can be able to earn that you've systematically worked? So it involves doing some mathematics on your part that I will be able to ultimately circumvent the hourly wage to be able to get the amount of funds that I, from the standpoint of a particular, if you will, agreement or fees or contract that you may have, is that you're looking to be able to get a certain percentage of the, if you will, product or service rendered that money back to you. And so that you may only get this percentage, let's say you may only get 10% in the first, if you will, few numbers of the product, but as the product, if you will, gets more sales, that your percentage will now increase to that 40, that 50, or even that majority percentage. And so being able to do something of that effect is going to be very key. The other point, which is point number 2 of what to do when negotiations fail, is to have what is known as a parachute. So once again, point number 2 of how do you navigate making sure that the best revenge is your paper when it comes down to if negotiations fail is that you have a parachute. And so, of course, you probably already know when it comes down to the role of a parachute is that if you jump out of a plane, if you jump from a distance of height, that a parachute ultimately will be able to stop your, if you will, progress of being, if you will, delayed by gravity. It delays you when it comes to gravity's pull and allows you to safely float to a wonderful stop of sorts. And so being able to understand, okay, what is my parachute when it comes down to this situation? Is it possible that my parachute is the fact that I can, if for instance, I'm looking to go to another company, that I'm able to stay with the current company that I have? Is the parachute that I'm able to possibly, if I'm not able to work with this client on the terms that I want, that I'll be able to work with this client based on the terms that I want? Or is the potential, if you will, parachute of that if I'm not able to get this particular work in this season, I have either these other streams of income or I have this other financial network that I'm already tapped into when it comes to your family, whether that's a significant other, when it comes to parents, when it comes to friends, that even if I don't get this particular position, this salary, this wage, these particular contracts, that I'm still going to be okay. Being able to have that parachute, whether it be both mentally as well as also financially, is going to be very key because that's going to therefore allow you to dictate how do you go about engaging with these employers, with these partners, with these potential clients and customers, because then it allows you to be able to understand, okay, this is my safety. If all else fails, this is how I can navigate. And so there you have it. Once again, the fact of the matter is the reality, negotiations may fail. But as I mentioned, when it comes to the title of this episode, you can't always get what you want, but you get what you need. In the fact of the matter that you will make sure that you have a plan in play when it comes down to what will be if your absolute agreement point when it comes to these negotiations. And then also, if that's not met, that you have a parachute when it comes down to whether being able to stick with the current company you have, stick in the current role you have, or having a financial net of sorts that will be able to protect you as you prepare for your next negotiation. I hope this whole episode, as well as this series, has been of great help and benefit to you. Also know that we're going to be doing something that's really, really amazing for our final Thursday of the year. We're going to have another Tactic Thursday live. So I'm going to make sure you have more information about that, as well as also just make sure that you stay tuned right now so you can be able to understand how you can be able to make sure that you get the maximum salary, the maximum wages, the maximum, if you will, fees for your services and products that you're rendering, as well as also that you can be your absolute best version of yourself. Thank you so very much for watching our video. We know that time is the most valuable, non-renewable resource, so we truly appreciate that you've taken that time with us here on today. Here are some quick ways that you can be able to support our channel and support us even more. And here's another way that you can be able to be connected with me. Join our Wayoneers network. Yes, you can do that by going to our website, www.wayoneers.com, where you'll get exclusive access and exclusive content with me, DC Howard, your care coach, and where we're going to also be able to provide that to you for a great low monthly fee, which you should see right now, as well as also you can be able to join for a great low annual fee, which you can see right now. How do you do that? Once again, go to our website, www.wayonears.com.